Welcome back, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history enthusiasts. In today's video, we're diving deep into the world of American numismatics to unravel the incredible story of one of the most overlooked yet astonishing coins in modern U.S. history, the coin of liberty, the 1981 Lincoln 1-cent penny. At first glance, it looks like just another coin in your change jar. A small copper piece with Abraham Lincoln's solemn face on the front. But don't be fooled. Behind this humble penny lies a fascinating history, a mystery of metal composition, and in some cases, a jaw-dropping value of up to $350,000. Yes, $350,000. Let's dig into what makes this tiny coin such a giant in the world of collectible currency. Scene transition, history section, vintage visuals of the U.S. Mint and early coins. Let's start with the history of the Lincoln cent. The Lincoln penny made its debut in 1909 to commemorate the 100th birthday of President Abraham Lincoln. It was the first time in American history that a real person, not a symbolic figure like Liberty, was featured on a circulating U.S. coin. The original design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, has remained largely intact for over a century. The obverse shows Lincoln's bust facing right, while the reverse originally displayed two wheat ears, which earned it the nickname Wheat Penny. By 1959, the reverse was updated to feature the Lincoln Memorial, marking 150 years since Lincoln's birth. And this brings us to 1981, a year of significance that most people would never suspect. Visuals of 1981. In 1981, the United States Mint was in transition. It was the last full year that pennies were struck using a composition of 95% copper and 5% zinc. Copper prices were rising, and the cost of producing a single penny was approaching, and sometimes exceeding, its face value. The government was under pressure to find a more cost-effective metal for minting the cent. So in 1982, the mint officially switched to a zinc-based penny with a thin copper coating. But here's where things get interesting. The 1981 pennies, especially those minted toward the end of the year, have become hot items among collectors, particularly because of what came next. The following year, in 1982, a mixture of different compositions, mint marks, and variations caused chaos among collectors. However, 1981 is when the calm before the storm occurred, and it's this calm that hides a few very valuable secrets now. Let's talk about rarity, era coins, and high-value finds. The 1981 Lincoln penny was minted at three facilities: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. You'll recognize them by the mint marks, D for Denver and S for San Francisco. Philadelphia minted coins have no mint mark. Here's where the treasure lies. Among these coins, some rare era versions exist that are worth a fortune. These include double die obverse, where Lincoln's features inscriptions like "In God We Trust" or "Liberty" appear doubled. These are highly sought after by collectors. Off-center strikes, broad strikes, and clipped planchets. Mechanical errors where the coin isn't struck properly or part of it is missing. Proof errors from San Francisco, intended for collectors but struck improperly or with special defects. Some extremely rare 1981 S-type 2-proof pennies, which have sharper, clearer mint marks and flawless finishes, have fetched thousands of dollars at auctions. In mint condition, with no signs of wear, these coins can be valued at $1,000 to $10,000 depending on grade and rarity. But hold on, there's more. Scene: the mythical $350,000 penny. Spotlight on unique coins, expert interviews, auction scenes. Now, you're probably wondering, how can a 1981 penny be worth $350,000? Sounds impossible, right? Let's break it down. There have been rumors and confirmed sales of ultra-rare transitional era coins from the early 80s. While 1981 was technically before the metal change, there were experimental planchets being tested. Some 1981 pennies are believed to have been struck on planchets intended for foreign coins or early zinc prototypes. These off-metal errors are among the rarest known Lincoln cents. Imagine finding a 1981 penny accidentally struck on a brass planchet, or with an experimental alloy never intended for circulation. These coins are extremely rare, often slipping through quality control unnoticed. Their value? Up to $100,000 to $350,000, depending on provenance, condition, and market demand. At elite auctions hosted by numismatic firms, some of these era coins have broken six figures, shocking both collectors and dealers. Now let's talk about the current market value of 1981 Lincoln cents in circulation. A regular 1981 penny in worn condition? Worth 1 cent, no surprises there. But a mint state 1981D or 1981P? Could fetch anywhere from $1 to $15. A proof coin graded PR70 from San Francisco? Up to $300 to $1,500, depending on the type. An error coin? Prices can skyrocket depending on the nature of the mistake, and a documented off-metal error from 1981? As much as $350,000. Coin values fluctuate based on demand, grading, certification, and rarity. That's why it's crucial to get your coin authenticated and appraised by experts like PCGS or NGC. Check the mint mark. Is it a D, S, or none at all? Examine the details. Use a magnifier to inspect for doubling in the lettering or Lincoln's features. Weigh the coin. A copper penny should weigh around 3.11 grams. Anything significantly lighter might be zinc or off-metal. Look for proof finish. Mirror-like surface and frosted designs mean you've got a proof. Check for errors, off-center strikes, clipped edges, or anything odd could be worth big bucks. Even the most common coin can hide extraordinary secrets. The 1981 Lincoln penny might just be sitting unnoticed in your change, in a drawer, or tucked away in a forgotten coin jar. But with the right knowledge and a little curiosity, you could turn 1 cent into hundreds, thousands, even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, always take a closer look. You never know when you'll stumble upon the coin of liberty, the tiny treasure with a value that defies its size. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1981 Lincoln penny and want more rare coin stories, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Your next treasure could be just one coin away. Happy hunting, and may fortune shine in your pocket. Until next time, stay curious, stay sharp, and always check your change. Today, we're turning our focus to a coin you've probably seen 1,000 times but never truly looked at, until now. It's small. It's copper-colored. And yes, it's a United States 1 cent coin from the year 1988. But don't let its ordinary appearance fool you, because one specific variety of this coin, known among collectors as the coin of liberty, could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. In fact, one such piece has been estimated to fetch a mind-blowing $350,000 in the collector's market. So sit back, grab your magnifying glass if you have one, because by the end of this video, you'll want to dig through your coin jar, your wallet, or even that old piggy bank from the 90s. Let's explore everything you need to know about the legendary 1988 Lincoln 1 cent coin. Our story begins with a man whose face we all recognize, Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States. A symbol of unity, leadership, and liberty, Lincoln was chosen to appear on the U.S. 1 cent coin in 1909, on the centennial of his birth. This marked the first time in U.S. history that a real person appeared on a circulating American coin. The design that replaced the classic Indian head cent in 1909 was the work of Victor David Brenner, a Lithuanian-American sculptor. His initials VDB, which once sparked controversy, later became an iconic part of numismatic history. Fast forward to 1959, the reverse of the coin was changed from the original wheat ears design to the image of the Lincoln Memorial, marking Lincoln's 150th birthday. And then, in 1982, the composition of the penny changed from mostly copper to a predominantly zinc-based coin with a copper plating due to rising metal costs. By 1988, the penny had already undergone several changes, but that year would go on to become one of the most important in modern penny history. On the surface, the 1988 Lincoln penny looks no different from any other. On the obverse, you'll see Lincoln's iconic profile, facing right, the words, "In God We Trust," arching above his head, "Liberty," to the left, and the date, 1988, to the right. Below that, if it's a Denver minted coin, you'll see a tiny D mint mark. On the reverse, you'll find the majestic Lincoln Memorial, the phrase, "United States of America," proudly across the top, the national motto, "E pluribus unum," just above the memorial, and 1 cent, boldly across the bottom. But here's the twist. In 1988, a rare and mysterious variation was struck, one that escaped the mint's quality control and ended up in public circulation. This variation is known as the 1988 Lincoln cent with reverse of 1989, also referred to by collectors as the transitional error, or the coin of liberty. due to the way liberty and American symbolism appear more refined on this accidental variety. Now, what exactly is a transitional error? Simply put, it occurs when a coin is struck using a die from a different year, a mix-up at the mint.I. In the case of the 1988 Lincoln penny, this error happened when some coins were struck using a 1989 reverse die, one that featured subtle design modifications that were not supposed to appear until the following year. The giveaway? It's all in the FG initials, located on the reverse of the coin near the base of the Lincoln Memorial. These initials belong to Frank Gasparo, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint who designed the Lincoln Memorial reverse. On the 1988 era coin, the style and positioning of those initials matched the 1989 design instead of the 1988 version. This accidental use of a newer die on an older dated coin created an ultra-rare variety. Fewer than a handful have been found in pristine condition, and it's these rare few that collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars to own. Numismatists have scoured rolls, bags, and hoards of 1988 pennies, but only a very limited number of 1988 Lincoln cents with the 1989 reverse die have surfaced. In top grades, especially in mint state condition, these coins are exceedingly rare, and rarity, as you know, is the fuel that drives value in the collectibles world. To date, certified grading agencies like PCGS and NGC have authenticated just a small number of these transitional error coins. One of the highest graded examples sold privately for an estimated $350,000, a staggering sum for a coin that once cost a single cent. What makes these coins so alluring is the perfect storm of rarity, historical error, and the fact that millions of people are likely to have handled one without even realizing it. Absolutely. The 1988 Lincoln cent with the reverse of 1989 entered circulation just like any other penny. No fanfare. No announcement. Just a quiet mistake that later became a numismatic treasure. To identify one, you'll need to look closely, very closely, at the reverse side of your 1988 pennies. The distinguishing features include the style and placement of the FG initials near the Lincoln Memorial. A sharper, more defined appearance of certain architectural details. Clean, uncirculated surfaces are especially desirable. If you believe you've found one, it's critical to have it authenticated by a professional grading service. Never clean the coin, and handle it by the edges only. Here's a breakdown of the current market value. Circulated 1988 cents worth 1 cent, though some go for 2 to 3 cents if copperpoint 1988D or 1988 Philadelphia transitional errors in low grades. $3,000 to $10,000 in mint state condition. $25,000 to $75,000 top graded MS67 specimens, valued between $200,000 and $350,000. These coins are now highly sought after, and the value keeps climbing as more collectors and investors pour into the hobby. The 1988 Lincoln cent is more than just a coin. It's a story. A snapshot of American history. A piece of the mint's past that slipped through the cracks and found its way into the hands of the public. It embodies the idea that even the most ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value. So next time you're handed a penny, don't just toss it aside. Look at it closely. Check the date. Examine the reverse. What you hold in your hand might not just be change, it might be a small fortune. If you found this video fascinating, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more deep dives into coin history and hidden treasures, and share this video with anyone who might unknowingly have a gold mine sitting in their drawer. Comment below if you've ever found a rare coin or want help identifying one. We love hearing your stories. And remember, in the world of coins, every cent has a story, and sometimes, that story is worth a fortune. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.